These are commercial machines made for home, rather than home machines trying to be commercial. And there's a big difference in that. Hi, I'm Peter from Coffee Parts, and if you're looking at these machines, you're already on your coffee journey and wanting to upgrade your setup, or you're new to coffee and wanting to go straight for the best. Now, these machines are somewhat different, but both timeless and beautiful. Now, they're not cheap. These aren't the machines you're going to get while shopping at your local homeware store for toasters and bedside tables. So why would you get one of these machines, and which one would you get? Now, there's no doubt coffee's become a social norm, whether out in the cafe or at home. And with more work from home and time spent at home, it's becoming super popular to replicate the cafe setup at home. These machines really are home-sized cafe machines. And in both these cases, La Marzocco and Rocket, they've been built by manufacturers who build commercial machines which you see in your local cafes. Now, if you've liked the video so far and you're new to this channel, please subscribe. It really helps us grow. And at the end of the video, let me know which of these two machines would you pick. So if you've been following our channel, we have done reviews of each of these machines individually in detail. Today, we're going to be doing a broad overview of how these machines compare and where they fit into a coffee journey. But we will leave a description below on these reviews if you want to deep dive into these machines. La Marzocco with the Micra here really nailed its size. This machine is perfect for homes, especially apartments with not much bench space. And the startup time, 5 minutes to espresso, 7 minutes to include steam. It really is a fast starting machine, so a very convenient machine. Rocket with the R58 have really nailed tradition with technology, and this machine really replicates the cafe setup at home really well. Now, there are machines with more control. Think flow control. Now, these really target a whole different coffee user. Think the tinkerer and the coffee fanatic. What these machines do well is a cafe experience at home in a high-end fashion, but really simple and easy to use. When it comes to espresso, both these machines are using rotary pumps, which are the same pumps you get in cafe commercial machines. Now, when you get locally roasted coffee, store it well, and have an awesome grinder, these machines really are easy to use and replicate that coffee experience at home. The Rocket does have a visible shot timer hidden on the front panel and a higher cup clearance, so it's easy to put in the scale, which I prefer when it comes to doing espresso. With a Rocket, you get two portafilters, a double spouted portafilter and a bottomless portafilter in Australia, while in overseas markets, you get a double portafilter and a single spouted portafilter. So depending on your market, you get two portafilters, but the combination does vary. With the La Marzocco, they've taken a very different approach. This machine is all about startup time. So what they've done is they've created a portafilter that's effectively a bottomless portafilter with a plastic adapter that turns it into a double spouted portafilter. This was to reduce thermal mass, allowing the machine to heat up faster by not depleting temperature at the portafilter. But I can't stop thinking that this approach from La Marzocco was a way of reducing costs by supplying just one portafilter. When it comes to controlling these machines, they're a very different approach. With a Rocket, you've got a controller on the side of the machine that allows you to control effectively everything. Startup time when the machine turns off, temperature at the brew boiler, at the steam boiler, whether your steam boiler is on or off, basically all the controls of the machine, and it does show your shot timer on it as well. Obviously, there's a shot timer on the front plate of the machine, so if you're not using that controller, which is removable, you can still see a shot time. La Marzocco have taken a different approach. Everything is controlled via the app. Now, this makes sense because a lot of times the machines are set and forget, but I always find it a little bit easier to have the controls just there. So two very different approaches. Both have their reasons for it. I don't know which I personally prefer. When it comes to steam, both these machines are very similar. On the Marzocco, you got a 1.6 litre boiler, while the Rocket has a slightly larger 1.8 litre boiler, but in reality, it's much of a muchness. Now, Marzocco is known for its dry steam, and they really do steam well. In saying that, on the Rocket, I find it a little bit easier to use the steam with a much larger steam arm and a more open space. I find that the little steam arm on the Marzocco is a little bit hard to use, but it's also because the machine has a smaller footprint. So I'm not sure which one is effectively better, but I do find the Rocket a little bit easier to use. When it comes to drip trays, both these machines have very easy to clean drip trays, and both have magnets holding them in and similar size. But when it comes to the water reservoir, that's when they've taken completely different approaches. With the Rocket, you've got the water reservoir at the back here on top. So you fill up the water reservoir via the top, which means you do have to move the cups around to get to it. With the Marzocco, the reservoir is behind the drip tray. So you remove the drip tray and you fill it up from there. Now, these two different placements both have advantages and disadvantages. Having the water reservoir behind the drip tray means you don't have to move all the cups around from the top, and if you do have low clearance, let's say a cupboard over your machine, it's still very easy to access, because no matter what, you're always gonna have clearance in front of the machine, otherwise you wouldn't be able to really be making coffee. With the Rocket, you have to move the cups, and you can't have a low hanging cupboard to make it easier to fill. But sometimes it is easier to fill the water reservoir without having to take out the drip tray, especially if it's a bit full and you don't feel like emptying it on that moment. So different approaches, no right, no wrong, and to be fair, 50-50 which way I would go. Now, there are some negatives to these machines. With the Micra, all the controls have to be done via the app, like I mentioned earlier. So you do have to have your phone out, the machine has to be connected. It's just a little bit more work than just say, having it straight away visible and just a click of a button away. Also, both these machines don't have volumetrics or flow controls, but in saying that, that's not what these machines were designed to do or the market they were trying to satisfy. And there is no external way of seeing your water level or what's left in your water reservoir. But on both these machines, if water runs out halfway through your shot, there is enough water in that for the machine to finish that shot, so you're not going to be left halfway through an espresso. On a positive side, both these machines are about the basics, and they do that so well. They really make the coffee experience and the coffee process easy, and you're getting that cafe setup at home without all the fuss. In many respects, once you get a workflow, I actually find them somewhat easier than fully automatic machines, and that's kind of controversial. They're both super well built, classic machines built by hand in Italy, with the Marzocco being built in Florence and the Rocket being built in Milan. And both these machines are commercial machines built to be used in the home market versus other machines that are home machines trying to act like commercial machines. Big difference there. So which machine would I pick? Both machines would make me smile. The Marzocco has fan cred. Small footprint, fast startup, well built. Fans will buy it, others will say how expensive it is. The Rocket is a larger machine, so you do need the bench space. But if you have it, it really is a commercial machine made for home with all the controls you need while keeping it simple. This may sound like a sales pitch, but both these machines are beautiful and timeless, and with some simple maintenance and practice, you really can pull delicious shot after shot, year after year. So the question becomes, which of these two machines would you pick? Let me know in the comments below, Rocket or Marzocco. And like always, if this video has brought you value, hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Thank you, and see you on the next video.